start. I'd like to thank you all for coming. After reading all the 50-minute emails, I'm like, is anyone going to come tonight? So I'm very happy to see friendly faces in the crowd. Because people kept saying, are you going to cancel? I'm like, no. So I was glad people were able to come out tonight. So has everybody been to a Krosslink meeting before?
Yes.
Okay. So Krosslink is a volunteer-driven group. We work with Rafat from Krosslink in the library. We have monthly meetings to try and create like a semi-networking event for entrepreneurs so they can get together, talk to each other. Sometimes we have speakers, as this evening, where people come and talk about different things. Sometimes we do mastermind sessions where people just can come and present an issue and get feedback from the rest of the people in the group. So we try to do different topics that we think would interest and help small businesses and entrepreneurs. So this evening we have two local entrepreneurs who are going to speak. We have first is going to be Monika Turek.
Yes.
I thought I was going to mispronounce it. She's the owner of Turek Web Design, and she's also an admin and created the Westborough, Mass. Local business Facebook page, and she's going to share information about this great resource that you should all join to have all sorts of great info about Westborough local business. And then she's going to be followed by Dan Lepore from Cork And Grain, which is right down the street from the library, and he's going to talk about his business. And they were just awarded an EDC grant, so he's going to talk about that process and their plans for what they're going to do with their EDC grant. So I'd like you to welcome Monika first.
Oh, okay.
On the spot.
I don't know, I was thinking about sitting up this table because otherwise it's so...
Oh, you want to, I prefer you can grab a chair.
No, that will be fine. I just feel more comfortable not standing in front of everyone.
Tables roll, so just be
then I roll
aware.
with it. I roll with it.
Okay.
So,
Just be aware.
Donna, thank you very much to invite me. I have been in Krosslink a couple of times. My name is Monika Turek. I live in Westborough, and I am a long-time web designer. And starting with that, I'm basically an advocate of small businesses because web design is basically, everything what I do is I promote other businesses. And I moved to Westborough probably 4 years ago. And I work from home, and my son is 14, 15, so I didn't have to go to play dates and any other stuff anymore. And after a while, I realized that even though I joined a local BNI group, I felt like I don't know anybody here. I really felt like alone. You know, I communicate through email, I communicate through the phone, and I feel like I don't know anybody here. So, and for me to feel at home, I need people around me, and I need relationships. And Facebook was a good friend for me to keep connection with my friends. But I felt like I wanted to promote my business, and I really felt like unwelcomed in any group. So I just would like to have your opinion right now about what's your business relationship with Facebook? What do you do? How do you do it? Do you like it? You don't like it? What's your relationship with your Brett?
I don't have mine on Facebook, so non-existent.
I mean, not even a profile?
Well, my personal profile,
Okay.
yes.
But not for your business?
Nothing for business. No.
Okay. Sue?
So I have two businesses going. I have one where I do freelancing and contract virtual professional work. And I did do a Facebook page. I have not found it valuable as a marketing tool for that particular one. I'm starting a new business, so I haven't launched that one yet. I found that the networking group. I've done Metro West networking group, Facebook group. That has been helpful. I have found connections through that. I've had some freelance work from that. But my own business page,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
struggle.
working for me.
And you guys?
So I have a Facebook page for Cork And Grain.
Uh-huh.
I use it to advertise events because I do a lot of tastings, things I'll talk about a little later. So I do use it. I do pay a little bit to advertise, which I find useful because I can target specific demographics, certain age groups, obviously 21 plus, but when I'm looking for wine, people that are interested, I can use it for that. So I do find some use out of it, and it's not super expensive to advertise on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
that's a good part
yeah.
of it, and you can really target.
And you target who you want
Mhm.
to advertise to.
Other side of that?
I hate it.
Why?
I find it ugly and cumbersome and limited, like the about, you can only have a few sentences, and I need to talk a lot more about my business than just a few sentences. I don't use it personally at all. I had an ex show up at my house, an ex from 30 years ago, and it absolutely just terrified me, so I don't have anything personal on social media at all. But I do understand how powerful and necessary it is for business. So when I get my businesses launched, they will absolutely have a social media presence, and especially on Facebook.
Thank you for the
And
feedback.
especially, one of the businesses I'll be doing is an e-commerce site, so I will be advertising through Facebook and Instagram and all those platforms, because I understand how important that is to get your business out
Mhm.
there is through social media.
Yes, it is important, and it's important to create connection and relationship. But how I felt and how basically Facebook changed over the last 10 years is if you have a business page, they don't show it, for everybody as they did at the beginning. That everybody who followed you would see your Facebook post. But it's not true anymore. They want you to pay. So, and I felt like Facebook is a really good platform to be connected and to promote ourselves. But as I told you, I joined the mom groups, I joined the local school groups and whoever, many different groups. But I was told that I cannot promote myself. I can promote myself every Monday or every second Wednesday or every whatever day, Friday, only Friday a month only. And it just felt cumbersome, and it just felt like I could understand that these groups are not for businesses, and these groups are, want to talk about the kids, they want to talk about the school stuff, they don't want to see my, that I do websites and that I promote a business. So therefore, it came to my mind that I need to create a group where the basic need is the same. We are all business owners, and we can understand that we need to promote our business. And it took me a while, at least 4 months, to sit on this idea, because I felt like, do I really want to take the responsibility to admin a page, a group, where communication is going on, and I have seen Facebook groups, fighting and splitting and being ugly, and I felt like, but I really felt like I need to do it. And I talked to a lot of people, the small business owners, about it, and they really liked the idea. So it was 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago in October, when I said, okay, let's get started. And it's easy. I mean, creating a Facebook group is easy. And I didn't really have to promote much. because I basically just put a small post in the mom groups where I was kicked out previously. And there was a lot of other business owners who were in the same group and waited every Monday to promote themselves, or every Friday, or every second Friday to promote their business. And I just put there, okay, this is the link, you come, you can promote yourself. There is not much restriction. You can promote yourself every day. We understand, you can talk about your business. You can put your sales, you can put your, whatever going on with your business. And in a very short time, in a year, we had 350 people. Right now, after 3 years, 770 people. And because I didn't wanna exclude many businesses, so I basically just made, because it's my group, I can make the rules. So the rule is basically Westborough based, Westborough or the surrounding town. So it's Northborough, Shrewsbury, Grafton, Hopkinton, and Southborough, yes. And basically, if I see that the business is based in these locations, then I accept that. There are so many people who find the group, and now I just have to limit them because they are in Marlborough, they are in Worcester, and I don't really feel like I want to blow it up, and I really restricted that because this is our area, so let's just keep it small. And after a while, people started asking me if we could meet face to face. So I work from home. And face-to-face meeting is good for me as well. So I basically just started to approach different businesses who were in the group and who were active, that if we could have a networking meeting at their location. And it's almost, I guess, the second year that almost every month I organize a networking meeting in different locations. And the whole idea is that, these businesses who accept to host us basically get visibility. It's the max people to show up, it's 25, 30 sometimes, but it's in the lower, it's a small group. And it's not like a networking event, not like a very organized networking event. We have potluck because I felt like I don't want to put any burden on the host business. So they basically just provide the basic and they provide the location and everybody just brings something. And it just really created a really nice community. And I am not too strict about what we can talk about, and we talk about issues. It could be, just like a mastermind, or just promotion, or whoever have any kind of issues. And then I started bringing in presenters. I was the first one because I felt the need that I have to teach and tell the group in a different way about Google. I am really passionate about search engine optimization, and I really like it, and I really feel like there are so many things that really small business owners can do, but they just don't know what they could do and how to do it. And there are also so many businesses who do their own website because there is a lot of different platforms you can do it, but they don't know what they are doing. They know what the front end, they know it looks nice, but they don't know what's behind it and how it can help them. So every month we have a 30-minute presentation. about different topics, and I find these people just on networking meetings, basically on different networking meetings. And it's really a thriving group. Like as I told you, we have 770 people right now, and almost 300 is active daily. There are some people who just promote, but they don't communicate, they don't do any kind of engagement, which I am not really happy about. But there are so many other people who really are open, and they put up questions, and they can, small business owners have the same issues, or they had the same issue once in a business life. So we can really help each other, Is it a good tagline? Is it a good thing to do on Facebook or not? Yes?
Yeah, so because of the nature of the way your group's set up, how do you handle people that take advantage of the situation? Like spamming, basically. Do you have an underlying guideline?
What do you mean spamming?
Say I'm a small business and I join your group on Westborough, and every single minute I put up a post. That'd be spamming.
You know what? The good thing is there was only 1 or 2 businesses who I really had to talk to, because they were basically doing it constantly and they haven't done anything else. I mean, as an admin, I can see how many times you commented on somebody else's post. And I really had to I just communicated that, this is not a nice thing what you are doing. But otherwise, I really have to tell you that there was no really big issue yet. I really I wouldn't say research, but I really think before I accept somebody, I really go to a website, I really make sure that they are local, and I do my research who I accept. Because there are people who doesn't have anything, on their social profile, nothing where they live, nothing what they do, nothing. And I have a questionnaire, 2 questions before they join, and one of them is basically the location, and it says if you are not in this location, you won't be accepted. And give me your business and your business link. And some people just doesn't fill it out, and it's automatically, for me it's automatically, okay, you didn't read, you didn't listen, then decline, that's it. What else? So we normally gain about 20 people a month, and it's really varies. I mean, really a very big group of contractors to cleaners to holistic practitioners and all kinds of different people and different businesses. So if you have your phone and you put Westborough NA local businesses, then you can find it. And you fill out the questions, then you are welcome.
How many people are already members of the Facebook group? A couple. So you get some more business after. Sign up on the page. Yeah, it's a great resource to learn about all the different businesses in town and stuff going on, so it's great.
Yes, and the thing is that because I have this group, I basically sometimes just show up in different businesses, and I basically just ask them, do you want to promote yourself, or have you heard about it? And it's a good topic, because everybody, every small business needs promotion, and they need to be in front of other people. And if you have only, okay, my struggle right now is, and I would like to have an input, because some people join with a page, with a business page. And other people join as a profile. And I feel like if it's a page, I don't really know this person. And those are the people who basically, I don't know, I don't recognize them. And they don't really get into engagement. So I'm really thinking about not to accept the pages, which will be a big deal for some businesses because, or not, I don't know. But I really feel like if I want to see the person, I want to see who is behind the business.
Well, in the pages, when you go to the pages, you can list the team members. So when you open up the business, you can see sometimes, you can always, I guess, tell the people to make it visible, the team members, and then you can see the people that are actually running the page. You have a group of like 5 people administrating the business page.
Yeah.
And it shows exactly who's their personal profiles on there.
I don't get it.
Yeah, when you log on to the business, so let's say you're vetting a business page.
Yeah.
You can go to that business page and it'll show who's administrating that page.
And what should I do with that?
Well, because then you can go into into those individual profiles and you'll know who they are.
But I don't want to be doing this extra step for myself. I mean, I know that lots of people knows me, they know my face because they see it on the Facebook post. And it's funny thing that I go somewhere and people just stare at me. I know you from somewhere, I know you from somewhere, but I have no clue where you are. Are you in the Facebook? Oh yes, I know, with the girl with the red head, I have a red head. And that's just a good feeling that you could recognize somebody. You would recognize a logo, for an the vacuum company or whatever. That's not the reason I want to have this. We need personal connection. Yes.
Are you able to tell how many non-businesses, how many people are coming to use the group as a resource?
No.
What?
Say I need a painter,
Yeah.
and I go to your group and I look for one. Are you able to know that I'm looking for a painter in your group?
I don't see the searches.
Okay.
I don't see the searches, but you can
Does
definitely.
Facebook not provide that?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
But that reminds me of something. That I have another group. I am not really participating in that group, but that group would be something which I created for a different reason. Because what I was talking about was a B2B group. And I also created one other group, is basically for the B2C. Because I felt like, why can businesses promote directly to consumers? So I have this other group as well, where you can definitely, if you don't have your business yet, then I wouldn't accept you in my B2B group, in the Westborough Local Businesses group. But as a consumer, you could come, and the other Facebook group is Westborough Bulletin Board. Then basically you can find painters as well. Because with the whole group things on Facebook is there are some groups for women, some groups for men. There are very few groups where they where they are mixed up, right? At least that's my that's my experience. So I have this other group as well, where if you want to see what's going on and you want to see some advertising, then you can go there as well. And there are so many wonderful small businesses like local music teachers, and it's really nice for me to see that they can be out there and people see them.
Thank you for the question. We discovered another group now.
Back to the part about having a business page rather than an individual. There may be a business where there's 3 or 4 people running it, not just.
Yes, that's true.
And they want their business page on there rather than the personal, because then you've got like 3 or 4 people from the one company, and it may get confusing or may be hard to do.
I can completely understand this point of view. I know that, not only one people manages one page. So therefore, I'm struggling. I have this decision is still in my mind. I will probably be the next meeting. What we are having is in the 18th. It will be at the Perk and Parcel coffee shop, and I will definitely, bring this question in front of the group and see what they are thinking. Yeah.
How important do you think it is for a business page to also have a personal page listed? Do you think the people that look at the business pages also look up the owner to see if they have a personal page? I'm a little worried that I have no personal page, but I'm going to be promoting businesses, and I don't think they're really linked to each other, correct?
No, they are not linked to each other,
Okay.
but you can create a personal page because personal pages, personal profile and the business page can do different things. And you can basically just run a completely open public personal profile based on your business. You don't have to put your kids there. You don't have to do anything else, just what promotes your business. And you can have that.
Okay. It's a good idea, I didn't think of that. To put my business on my personal as well. I thought about keeping them totally separate, keeping nothing on my personal. And having
Because
it all
that
private.
brings you, I don't know what kind of business you're gonna have, or you have right now, but for me, just to know who the owner is, just to put the face
Right,
into that business, it's important.
okay. I feel it's important too, I just worry about it. You don't want any more wackos showing up at my door.
You
I'm
don't-
still in the phone book, that's why.
You don't have to put your place on your Facebook page. You can actually leave it blank. You can leave out details.
Okay,
You don't have to put your relationship status. There's details you can leave out.
okay. Yeah, I started it, I think, a year or 2 ago, and then I got sidetracked, moving, etc., life, whatever, and I haven't looked at it in a long time, but I did start a personal, and then start a business holders for the businesses I have, hopefully
And-
ready to launch this
And
year.
I learned that some people directly put a different town names there, which is not good for me, because I told them, your Facebook page shows me that you are in Boston. Why do you want to come here? Oh no, I am really in Westborough. Boston is just I cannot do any, I cannot check and talk to everybody who they are and what they do. So it's basically up to their profile, yes.
Yeah, you can also create another second handle. I mean, Facebook doesn't have many regulations on how many profiles you can do. It's usually just tied to a phone number. So
I can
second
believe
number.
for that.
So you got to be careful when you do that. So what I would recommend is to just get a general profile. You can fill into whatever data you want in, fake data. But what you don't want to do is
They
match
asked me
the
for my
data
driver's
together.
license. They asked me to
That's
verify
your
myself.
driver's license?
Yes, they wanted me to send them
Wow.
my
That's new.
driver's
That's new to
license,
me.
yes.
That is very new then.
That might be some kind of red flag.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I would, if that's the case, then I would maybe try to log on with a different phone or a computer. 'Cause maybe your IP got fingerprinted over there and they escalate you. But so far, what I know of, at maximum they ask you for a phone number to ping back. So if you can always just get a burner number, for a month, and then just there you go. So that'd be another way to do it.
So that was me.
Thank you.
Next we have Dan from
Yeah.
Cork And Grain.
So, I guess kind of two parts. I guess I can explain kind of myself and the business, and then the grant program that the town started to offer last year because I applied for it and I was able to get it. So, my name's Dan. I do have a partner, Daryl. We've known each other for a very long time. We worked together for Walgreens for about almost 20 years. We decided that we were kind of tired of the corporate world and wanted to venture out to do something different. We looked at different restaurants, bars, other like franchise opportunities, and we just kind of settled on that we did like the food industry and the liquor industry, and with all our retail and sales experience, we just decided that opening a liquor store, beer and wine, is probably best suited for us. So we looked for 52 weeks and compiled all the stuff that was for sale in the state. And I live in Woburn. Daryl lives in Shrewsbury, so we're kind of looking for somewhere in the middle. He lived further west when we opened. Now he lives in Shrewsbury, but so Westborough was kind of in the middle of where we lived, so we needed to kind of be in between, and we needed a different, because our store is a little bit different than your typical liquor store. We don't focus on a lot of the name brand stuff, a lot of the mass-produced wines, all the mass-produced liquors. We try to focus on more of a craft spirits, smaller production wines, family wineries, single estate stuff. There's a lot of good products out there if people are willing to try different things. So, I mean, we do have your regular domestic beers, Bud, and Coors, and all that stuff. But we do try to take an approach of just different stuff, to be different than Julio's and Total Wine, because it's hard to compete against those bigger stores. There's a lot of back-end stuff with wholesalers, which makes it difficult for a single store to survive. So we had to figure out a business model that would work and succeed and be different and be able to still compete. So Westborough had an available license. There's only so many liquor stores you're allowed to have in a town. There's only so many beer and wine stores you're allowed to have in a town. So again, there's complications with that. So that's why I know it took 52 weeks, because we needed that information for the bank loan and everything that we went through for that. So we found a financial planner and a person that was able to help with the business plan. And then we applied through the government for an SBA loan, which took probably about another 6 months to get. Yeah, so we've been open for almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in June. And like I mentioned, we do have different products. So one of the things we wanted to do was put in a tasting bar so that you can sample a lot of the stuff that we have, because people are willing to try different things if they sample it. They can realize that there's better products out there than just your average stuff that people are typically buy. So we do a lot of tastings where that's one of the things I do Facebook for, is we do a lot of wine tastings on Fridays. And I advertise that through Facebook. I do emails to customers, and then I do through Instagram. And it's a way for me to gauge who's interested in these wines, who might come to the tastings, to advertise the tastings out there, and get business in the door. So we take the same approach too with craft beer. Craft beer is quite a big area right now. A lot of people love the local stuff, Cold Harbor, Startline. So we try to partner with as many local people, because a lot of people like to shop local. They want to know they're helping local people and helping local breweries. We do partner with Broken Creek, which is a winery in Shrewsbury. He makes his own wine. He's got 40 acres out there. He's got some good stuff, and we're one of the only stores that carries his wines. So another thing too, by partnering with local breweries and wineries, Their hours aren't as good as ours. When we're open 7 days a week, 80 hours a week. So where they might only be open 4 to 10 on a Friday, they're open Saturdays. And so you have an opportunity to, you know, buy a bottle of wine on a Tuesday night when the winery's closed, or you know, some Cold Harbor stuff when Cold Harbor's not open. So yeah, we found the space right down in the Rotary, and we remodeled it. It was it's always been there. It's always been the rundown old Westborough package store, and we knew that's not the type of store we wanted, so we remodeled it and went through all the vendors and the contractors and built it out, which we used through experience that we had with Walgreens. I'd opened a few different Walgreens stores. Daryl had done a remodel of one of his stores that he worked on. So our background in corporate did help us and gave us kind of the confidence to venture out on our own once we realized kind of corporate wasn't what we wanted to do anymore. So yeah. Any kind of questions on that before I move on to the...
You made your money?
We're making some money. The business sustains itself. It's definitely a tough industry, and not every month is as busy as the other months. So,
What's your best seller?
for beer, we surprisingly sell more Wormtown, and then Bud Light.
What was the second one?
Bud Light. Yeah.
In your 52-week search, how many liquor licenses did you come across that were available?
We probably came about around 20. I kept track of it in the spreadsheet, which ended up being useful when the bank asked for comparable numbers. So I've purchased a house, and you know, the realtors are always looking at comp sales. So it's definitely, and I didn't know how useful it would be when they were like, how do you know how much this is worth? Well, I was like, well, I actually kept track of every place we went to and what they were selling for and what they sold for, because there really wasn't there isn't a database that keeps track of sales, because technically it's not sale because you can't sell a license. The town owns the license, so it's a transfer. So yeah, so there's really the ABCC keeps track of it, but that's not public information and you can't get it. So just knowing that a certain place was available, we went and saw it here, this is what they were looking for, this is what they did for sales, because once you sign a non-disclosure, you can look at all their financials, because you're potentially buying a business, and then you can evaluate and compare against other stores.
So besides the logistics between you and your partner and the availability of a liquor license, what were the other criteria that you were evaluating before you made a decision?
So the town median income was a big factor, because we knew we were going to go for a little bit more expensive wines and craft beer. So we knew that the town income needed to be a little bit higher. So our model wouldn't work per se in certain lower income towns. Like it wouldn't necessarily work in some parts of Worcester, just because we're not a dollar nib store, and we're not selling those kind of products. So we needed to know what we were getting into. Yeah. So I saw the grant, the town got some money from, so the town has a billboard on Route 9 that flashes, and that's where they get the money from the people that promote on that billboard. And that money is then funneled back to the town, and the town came up with a program for small businesses to apply for a grant up to $5,000. I think there's $25,000 available last year. I'm not sure if it's a fiscal year or a calendar year. I'm not sure how it works, but the first round is over. They are opening up again in the fall. So they're going to be accepting applications soon. I believe the application process is going to be open soon. So basically, they're looking for, there's your regular application. So, you know, you fill out what you do, what you're looking to do. So, you know, we analyzed our business and we realized where we had opportunity to grow. And we came down to the process that we weren't doing a good job of selling food and pairing it with our wines. So we wanted to have a better opportunity to increase our sales with our food sales. So we need a cold cooler to do that. So we had a cooler over there. It's loud and old, and it's a 2-door cooler, and our food isn't close enough to the wine. So we realized we wanted people to explore the store. So in retail, you can put some items aside so we put the food on the other side of the store so that customers would have to walk across the store. So in theory, that's good because people will explore your store, but now that we have a customer base, everybody knows where everything is. So you need to move stuff around to get people to see it as fresh, even though it might not be fresh. So it's part of all the merchandising. However, we are going to be bringing in a lot of new food stuff. So with that said, we just want to get the food closer to the wine so that people will just grab it without having to think about the cheese or the spreads that will go on the chips to go with the wine. So we were looking for a cooler as a basic. It was a cooler and some shelving because we wanted to put our crackers and our chips next to the cheese, next to the cold cheese, next to the wine. So, you know, I kind of put down some numbers that this is what we did in food sales, and this is how much I think we could have done if we were better merchandised and we had the food, you know, easily accessible. So we put that together, some sales. So I did, on the application, they do ask for what you're going to do with it. So I definitely wrote it a huge couple pages typed out of what we were going to do, which I think helps. But I mean, I think everybody probably does that because it's only a small block. So, but we then I took pictures of where it's going to go, what cooler we were going to buy, specifically how much it cost, how much I was going to use for shelving. So I broke it down. Everything I knew or I thought they were going to ask, I had already put an answer down to. The floor plan that currently we have and the floor plan of where it's going to go, I presented, and I put everything together in a PowerPoint presentation because I had to present to the board, which was good because then I was able to kind of talk about it and, you know, kind of air it out to everybody, and they were able to ask questions. So the process was pretty easy. I used the contact that I had through the EDC, which I don't think she's there anymore, but I know there's people that respond to the emails. So they're very helpful, and the money's there. So.
What board did you have to do the PowerPoint?
So the Economic Development Committee, Catherine was her name, and then it was Francisco before her. And I know they're probably looking for another person. So she's kind of like the liaison for small businesses, and that's how I.
And did they come out and tour your business afterwards or anything like that, or it was all?
No.
No?
I know they're kind of familiar with it, so
Yeah.
I've had to go before the board for like approval when we first opened. I went to go talk about some other things about the town meetings, so I've definitely been involved in the town. So they kind of know my face.
Kind of on Main Street too.
And I'm right there, so I try to, be good as best as possible. So, yeah, so it wasn't a hard process, and it's definitely good. I haven't used the money yet. We just had them. We're just approved in January, and January and February are typically the slowest months of the year, so I was kind of just waiting till Easter to kind of when I was going to kind of just promote all the new stuff that we're going to be bringing in. One of the big things I wanted to do, we're going to be bringing in some packaged fresh meats from a local company in Malden. So they have marinated chicken, steak tips, and I'm going to be able to get those with like a 14-day shelf life, be able to have them for both weekends. So because if I get it on a Thursday, then I'll be able to Friday, Saturday, and then the next weekend, which I think will kind of help people that come in for a 4-pack of beer or a 12-pack, and they're going to be grilling, so it's kind of one stop to promote, which I wasn't able to do before. So.
How many people can you handle? I mean, okay, I am talking about my own group. So can we host a networking meeting there, for example, for 15?
Yeah, we could. I don't have anywhere to sit, but yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily sign up. I was thinking about signing up and promoting, because I do this month I did rosés on sale, so a bottle of rosé is 5% off, and I put that out on Facebook and I put that out on Instagram, and people do come in and they see it. So the more eyeballs that I can have look at my sales would easily help. So I'm always looking for customers. I mean, that's my challenge is getting customers inside the store. So I need to get out there. So yeah, I could.
Yeah, therefore I feel
yeah.
I try to organize in different locations, because sometimes people just don't go in.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I know. That's what, yeah,
They
exactly.
go by, but they just don't feel the connection, the urge, whatever.
Yeah.
So
We can probably, I don't remember what the occupancy is, but I want to say it's definitely at least. We would do our grand tasting, and we have about 75 people in there, which is tight, but it's definitely, we're allowed more than that, but I would say that it's comfortable. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did secure the SBA loan?
We did. Yeah.
So I've had friends that have been applied and didn't get it, and we always wondered, is it like a Shark Tank? Do you present to the group of those people, and they need to decide that it's profitable, it's good margins? Is it like a Shark Tank thing, or what's
kind of.
What's their
It was definitely the hardest part of everything we did.
Yeah.
Was the SBA loan. And so we ended up using some of our 401k, which is a complicated process to be able to use your 401k to turn that into stock and then be able to use that for money. So when we found a company that was able to do that with the IRS, they suggested a financial planner who I still am in contact with. She's out of Illinois, and she was able to help with the business plan. So I created a business plan that was about 20 pages, and then when I was working with her, it ended up being about 150 pages.
Wow.
And her role, through conversations, she was able to kind of build it in, and she used business plans that she had already used, which you can just kind of carbon copy, because a lot of stores are going to have, retail stores are going to have the same business plan. Just cater it to your specifics. So with that, then she was able to shop it to banks all over the country. And she took she's like a broker for real estate, so it was like a 2% fee of the whole deal, which just comes out of the loan. So I never paid her till the loan came into our bank account, and then I just gave her the 2%. So I would not have been able to do it without her, because we ended up with a bank they're based out of Minnesota, but they have branches in Florida. So I would have never went to that bank. We went to every bank in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And we personally went to a couple ourselves, and we were denied all over the place. So you just keep going until you get approved.
So how did you find her then?
That was the company that we found that was able to properly use our 401k for some of the initial money.
So did you Google that person and say, can somebody work with a 401k?
Yeah, there's only a few reputable companies in the United States that can do that, and we found that through, we went to a couple trade shows for franchises.
Yeah.
And then at the franchise shows, we were able to get connections on how to do that. We went to some seminars, because it is a complicated process. Because your 401k is for retirement, so using it for anything else is not, they don't like that.
Well, it sounds like you guys did a very good job of seeing your goal and going for it. You know, all of the research you did and kept going. In 52 weeks, you keep saying, you know.
Yeah,
you know when you started and when it happened. Good.
Yeah, because I remember it was because my birthday's in August, that's why I always remember that. So it was August to August.
Yep.
And we ended up opening in May, but we signed our lease in January. So from August to January, it took to kind of put together the whole process, because we ended up not even getting funded until like June. So from August of the previous year, when we found Westborough, we signed a lease in January, we remodeled, and then we finally got the loan right around when we opened. So the loan process took almost a whole nother year.
What if you didn't get it?
We were pretty sure that they were gonna go for it. We were kind of pre-approved. It's a little bit different with businesses, but they'll work with you with the pre-approval. So, yeah.
Good.
Sorry I came a little late, I don't know the fact how we started, but did you get any help from SCORE at all in the beginning? Okay.
No, I didn't utilize that in the beginning.
Bare loans and all that?
No, but I did, I have found them now. But yeah, we joined the Chamber of Commerce and we went through some of their contacts with lending and everything.
Are you going to touch base with them soon, or for your further,
For more funding?
for more funding, for more financial marketing advice, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, if I ever, I I don't know if
I'm from SCORE. That's all.
I don't know if I need them right now. Maybe I don't know what I don't know, but yeah. And I mean, all resources are helpful, so I always like to explore.
We are there to help anytime.
I see on your website that you're using newsletters.
Mm-hmm.
So how is your experience using newsletters?
So I use GoDaddy. I have a friend who does web page design, and he was trying to show me WordPress, and I watched some of the tutorials, and I just decided it was a little too complicated, so I just went back to GoDaddy. I would like to use Constant Contact because their formats are a little bit better, I find. But since I've been using GoDaddy and I'm familiar with it, I'm probably just kind of stuck in my ways of using it. But it's fine. I wish there was just more templates and I could be a little more creative with my newsletters, because they're pretty just standard, and I would like them to look a little bit different.
Do you think that they're helpful?
Yeah, so I do get open rates, and by using Facebook, I'm able to kind of, because you want people to click into them and click through, whether they're going to your web page or whether they're going to Facebook. So yeah, I mean, I get about 25% that look at the email, which is better than what I've been told ever. So for what people do, because I have friends in digital marketing, which is, so it's 25 people that look at it, and I know that Gmail, it goes to promotions, so it doesn't even go to your main email. So you'd have to go into promotions to look at it. So, and most people have Gmail addresses. So yeah, I have about 600 subscribers. So there's always, and I can see who it is. So it's always the same people that are looking at it. But at least I know they're looking at it. So yeah. And GoDaddy is easy to use. It's very easy. You just add in the themes and kind of create a web page. I'm sure you're very familiar with WordPress and all the extra web page design, but GoDaddy is easy. So and it's inexpensive for a basic web page. I don't have e-commerce, so it's more of just kind of informational. So if I did do e-commerce, I would need to have a better web page. But
Any other questions?
Maybe final question, did you know about this group before, the Krosslink?
my partner has come to a couple of them, but I was asked to come and talk about the grant. So because I haven't been to one in a long time. So and he came a while ago. So
Thank you for coming.
thanks for having me.